Okay, guys, this next video is pre-launch phase 2. Here we go.
Hey everybody, welcome to week 4 of how to recruit 20 people in 30 days. It's actually week 2 of our pre-launch phase. Just 1 week before we kick this thing off. We light the candle, we take off, train leaves the station, and we begin this aggressive process to recruit 20 people in 30 days. So if you're ready for pre-launch part 2, let's get Hey everybody, welcome back. We are now in week 4. Some of you are just getting started, so you've got a little bit of homework to do in your preparation, but we spent 2 weeks on preparation. We spent last week on pre-launch, and this is the final training that we have before we kick this into gear. Before we kick it into gear, and that is pre-launch part 2. Pre-launch part 2. Now, I hope you've started in telling your story and making that a habit, and in your whisper campaign of talking to people. Now, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be throttling up. If you can imagine an airplane on the runway, we are gearing up. We're going through our checklist. We got our stuff, right? We're getting ready. We're revving up the engines. We've, compressed the cabin with the proper air pressure. We're fueled. We're locked into our destination. We know exactly what we want to do. And now it's time to start throttling up. Now, takeoff's going to start next week with your launch, but this is time to ramp up activity and to focus on the whisper and to build anticipation. Ramp up the activity, focus on the whisper campaign, and build anticipation. So, what do I mean by ramp up the activity? 1 and 2 go together. I want you You know, we've been in this preparation zone. Sometimes you can get stuck in preparation zone and you're not taking the action necessary. You're getting ready to get ready to get ready to get ready. You're putting it off, putting it off. You're going to cram later. Now's the time to go. If you haven't gotten aggressive with your whisper campaign, I would suggest that you get very aggressive this week. You should have a whisper conversation 10 to 20 times a day for the next 7 days. 10 to 20 times a day. Now, how do you do that? My suggestion is use text message, direct message, whatever, as a first step to set up a phone call or a Zoom call or a Skype call to be able to have this whisper conversation one-on-one. Just say, listen, I need to talk to you in the next 24 hours. What's a good time? You know, when can we get on the phone? When can I schedule a quick little, FaceTime? When can I talk to you on Skype for a couple minutes? It's really important. I can do it early in the morning. I can do it late at night. Doesn't matter. What's important is that you've got 5-10 minutes to be able to have a conversation. And now that conversation is the whisper conversation that you're going to have. We talked through last week. If you need to go back through that, go through that. It's the whisper conversation to set up a more serious conversation. The whisper conversation is, are you open? Do you consider yourself a potential candidate? Is this something that might interest you? Is this in the realm of possibility? And look, if it's not, I don't have time. It's really important that you have this posture. We'll talk about this posture. If somebody's like, and they're all negative, say, look, maybe my intuition about you is wrong. Maybe you're not a candidate for this. If you got a, if you're all tied up and or negative about it or whatever, I'll talk to you later. No worries. I'm looking for people who are looking for opportunity. I'm looking for people interested in cash flow. I'm looking for people looking to add an additional revenue stream to their life. I'm looking for people who want to help me lead a group of people to capture part of this marketplace. I'm looking for an entrepreneur. And maybe I was wrong. If that's not where your vibe is right now, I'll talk to you later. I'll let you know about the product and all that stuff later. If I get resistance, look, if there's any doubt in your mind, just say no. Now's not the time for you. I'll talk to you once I launch. I'm doing this whisper campaign with you out of respect, not out of me needing something. It was a mutual respect. 1 + 1 adds up to 10. That was my intuition. Maybe I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, fantastic, no problem. I'll talk to you next month. I'll let you know about the product. I'll let you know about the opportunity. You can decide what you want to do, and you can take all the time in the world. I'm talking to people who are looking for opportunity, ready to act now. If that's not you, fantastic. I'm not looking for people with a whole bunch of doubt and uncertainty. I'm looking for people who are relatively confident in their abilities, looking for people who are hungry for opportunity. I'm looking for people who are coachable inside of a new business model. I'm looking for people who are willing to step forward and do something uncomfortable before it becomes comfortable. That's what I'm looking for. And if that means you, fantastic, let's talk. And if it doesn't mean you, or if I start getting a whole bunch of resistance, I'm like, hey, whoa, apparently my intuition was wrong. You're not ready for this. Fantastic, no big deal. I'm coming from such a posture of strength. I am doing you a solid. I am doing you a favor by talking to you before I launch next week. I'm just doing this out of respect. I'm doing this out of opportunity. If you don't see it, I'll come back and I'll come back around and talk to you later. No big deal. I just don't have time to go through a bunch of 20 questions. I mean, you either see it or you don't. If you see it, fantastic, let's go to work. And if you don't see it, hey, fantastic. Not everybody's going to see it. That's okay. I'm looking for people who are going to see it. I'm looking for people who want to work with me. I'm looking for people I want to work with. I'm looking for people who have the similar energy. I'm looking for people who have similar optimism for their 2020, what they're going to do with their lives. I'm looking for people who are entrepreneurial, who are ready to capture an opportunity. So do you feel what I'm saying? See, the reason why I was able to bring in 20 and 30 so many times over the course of my career was this. Look, you and me, let's do something outrageous. Let's do something special. Just know I'm not going to lose. Maybe I've lost before, and I don't know if you could see it in my conviction, but I have an opportunity. I found an opportunity, and I'm going to go get this. People smart enough to get around me right now, especially before I launch, are going to be super grateful that they did, and those that didn't are going to be super regretful that they didn't. And that's really the truth. That's what I'm all about. Now, some of you are like, well, I couldn't act like that. Why not? Why couldn't you just say, you're changing how you've treated yourself and the language you've used about yourself? What if you just say, I'm worthy? What if you just say, I'm capable? What if you just say, I'm deserving? What if you just say, I'm a good person to work with? What if you just say, my hunger and my coachability and my willingness is enough? I'm going to figure it out as I go. I'm going to be willing to be messy while everybody else is trying to be perfect. I'm going to go. You hear me? So this is a conversation that I had in the Whisper campaign. I got on airplanes to fly to people's houses and knock on their door and say, we need to talk. People said, I'm busy. I said, well, I'm available at midnight. Let's start it. Let's have a conversation at midnight. I'll come over to your house. Serious. No kidding. If it was 6 a.m., I hate mornings. I'd do it at 6 a.m. If it was 3 in the morning because of time zones, I would do it at 3 in the morning. Doesn't matter. You can't throw an obstacle in the way that would cause me not to take the action. You understand what I'm saying? This is a decision, it's a posture, it's an attitude, and you got to ramp up your activity this week. This is your last chance to be able to engage in a Whisper campaign, because once you launch, once you go loud, once you go nuts, once a week from now happens and you push play on this machine, the machine is going to change your life. Once you do that, this window closes. Choop. This window closes. The anticipation is over. Now you're running. Now it's whoever talks to the most people wins. Okay? But you got a little magical moment in between last week and this week to be able to bring in some really quality people. So 3 things. 1, ramp up your activity. It's time, it's time, it's time. We're going to go. Takeoff's happening. Get on board. Train's leaving. Focus on the Whisper campaign. Get in as many people as you can between now and when you launch your 20 and 30, and build the anticipation of what's going to happen with the people you've already signed up, with the people who are already taking a look. Let them know, hey, if you're going to get involved before we start. Get yourself in position before we start. Lock in your spot before we start. Build the anticipation around the launch date. A countdown with your team, countdown with your prospects. It's 7 days, it's 6 days. Come on, let's go. It's 5 days, it's 4 days, it's just 3 days. And we're going to run 2 days away, 1 day. Okay, we're going. Use this moment to build anticipation. Got it? So that is the lesson for this week. I'm really excited for you. And next week, I'm going to let you know some really special things that I'm doing for you and for the people that are joining your team. I'll let you know about that in next week's training, okay? So that's our lesson for this week. I'm excited. Go out there, make it happen. If you have questions, shoot them into the comments, and I'll answer them as we go, okay? Love you, and I'm believing that your 20 and 30 is for real.
All righty. I'm gonna stop this recording.